What's up, people of the internet? So I just completed my Ancestry DNA kit. Just arrived today, and I had to do had to put saliva in this little tube and mix it with this liquid that it came with, and I'm gonna ship it out. Hopefully I get it in about 2 to 3 weeks, and I can see results of regions, a generalization of where my DNA is likely to come from. I've always been interested in my roots and stuff like that, so that's what we're doing. And FYI, a little background on me. I'm born in Bronx, New York. Both of my parents are from Jamaica, so I'm Jamaican by blood. Jamaican American, I guess they would label me, but I'm Caribbean. So. All right, viewers, what's happening? What is happening? This is fast forward about 3 weeks. I finally got my results from Ancestry DNA. I got both of my younger brothers behind the camera, so they're gonna hear the results as well. They sent it through email. So I'm gonna go to my Gmail and check it out. I'm gonna make a guess. I'm gonna make a guess on what I believe my results are gonna be. Oh, what do you know? We got a globe right here. So I'm gonna say it's gonna be predominantly Nigerian, maybe 20 to 30% Ghanaian, some random European country, maybe some native Central American, somewhere around there, and possibly some Asian country. So that's my guess. My reaction. So we're gonna go on the email on my backup phone. Okay, here we go. All right. So it says Devay's 12 ancestral regions. We got 45% Nigeria, 23% Benin and Togo, 8% Cameroon, 5% Ivory Coast and Ghana, 5% Western Bantu peoples, 4% Central West Africa, 3% Mali. Oh shit, I had a feeling that one was gonna come. Alright. 2% Nigerian woodlands, 2% Ireland, 1% Central Nigeria, 1% North Central Nigeria. That is so vague. And then 1% Netherlands. Yeah. Boom, and we are live. Let's get right into it. I'm dressed up in my African attire. Now so I did a clip of me revealing my Ancestry DNA results. I didn't really record much long after I initially opened up the results. So now that I've had time to evaluate them a little more, I'm ready to talk about it. So what I got was 45% Nigeria, 23% Benin and Togo. Those are the ones I remember because those were the most profound. The other one, I remember 3% Mali, I think 5% Southern Western Bantu peoples. So that's like Angola. I think Zimbabwe was there. It was 8%, I believe, Ivory Coast and Ghana. And the only thing I got outside of the African continent was 1% Netherlands, I believe, and 2% Amsterdam. It might have been vice versa. So I have minimal, very minimal European DNA, which is pretty cool considering the crimes that took place that caused a lot of the mixing and for a lot of diasporan Africans to have European DNA. So anyways, I digress. For me, I'm taking them with a pinch of salt. It gives me a good general idea because before doing this test, I knew nothing. I was only making hypothesis, guesses. Like, I really didn't know. I was only going based off of history and stories that I heard and researched. But now that I've done this DNA test, it gives me, the regions where my bloodline comes from. But as I stated, that's pretty vague, because most people of African descent that live in the West, being that of North America, United States, Canada, the Caribbean, which is my background. Both of my parents are born and raised in Jamaica. And then you got South America. I mean, you got Brazil, which I've heard has the largest has the largest population of African descended people in the world. I used to think it was the US, but nah, it's Brazil. So yeah, you got Brazil, Guyana, all the other countries that are on mainland South America, and like I said, including the Caribbean. We all know we descend from West Africa for the most part, West and Central, be it Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Benin, Togo, Cameroon. I believe some populations came from Angola, Senegal. I mean, you name it, we know. So this is kind of just confirming. I personally view this as a confirmation to the history that we hear. But what I want to know is, what specific ethnic group does my bloodline descend from? So this is why I want to take the African ancestry test. The co-founder is Dr. Gina Page. There's so many videos with her on YouTube and Instagram revealing people's results.
Dr. Gina Page, the president and co-founder of AfricanAncestry.com. You know, diversity and inclusion for me means understanding that Black is expansive.
Of what ethnic group they derive from, which is astonishing. I cannot wait to do it. The only reason I did not do it is because it's a bit pricey right now, and I'm not ready to commit to it. I have things I'm taking care of. I got a big trip coming up, so that is going to be done later on. So yeah, I want to do that one because it gives me specifics on what ethnic group my bloodline comes from, and it also traces down maternal line or paternal. So it can trace your mother's 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 mother 500 to 2,000 years back, predating the transatlantic Holocaust. And then vice versa on the paternal side, father's father, father, etc. It's 500 to 2,000 years, predating transatlantic slave trade. So that's the one I want to do. These results, I'm pretty happy about it. One thing I also noticed about my results personally is, if I round it all up, it's practically 98, 97% African and like 2 or 3% European, which is very minimal compared to what I see from other people's results who are also of African descent, which means that I likely have a bloodline that did not experience rape and those things, because if you know the stories, a lot of the slave raiders and captures were forcing themselves upon the enslaved African woman. So yeah, overall, I could not be more proud of my results and excited. From now, I want to dive a little more deeper into African history to really learn and have more credentials to back up a lot of conversations I like to have. I love to study the history, but as of now, my main source has been YouTube, which can be controversial because a lot of guys on YouTube, when they make the videos, or girls, it's coming from a place not necessarily of hate, but it's very driven by the ego, and it's less factual, if that makes sense. So yeah, they lack a lot of credentials, and it can be hard to see who. I mean, you could watch one video and there's a person claiming that West Africans descend from Israelites, and you got another video of someone saying West Africans descend from this and that, and it gets really confusing. So until you pick up books and read literature, that's when you could get authentic information on the history and also visiting the countries, which I've been to Africa, as I stated. When I go back, I look forward to exploring more. So yeah, I just want to source different resources to learn more of the history. So anyway, that's the end of this video. Like, comment, share, especially comment if you've done Ancestry DNA before, and let me know what your results were.